Hi.
And here is Sammy the Seasquirt. So Suffolk Mind have created a book that's all about Sammy the Seasquirt. So Sammy is a chordate, and the chordates have a tube as their body, and sea squirts particularly have a brain that's on top of their head. But if they don't move, they lose the functionality of their brain and they absorb their brain. So we've created a storybook for children to encourage children and families to move. So it encourages them to move in lots of different ways. So it doesn't matter what kind of way you're moving. You can be seated moving, you can be standing up moving in lots of different ways to help to keep your brain healthy. And it's been written by Ezra Hewing, who's our head of education. So it's all grounded in our science and what we teach in schools. And it's also illustrated by a local children's illustrator, Emma Graham. So, we're hoping that it should be with every 4 to 5 year old in September. At the moment, we're trying to raise some money to get that to happen. So we're nearly there, but not quite. So if anybody fancy going onto the crowdfunder and having a look, there's lots of lovely rewards that you can download if you'd like to have a little look. Some of them we've got some movement games. There's like a little movement game you can see here. So you can download it and play a movement and memory game. So when we move our bodies, it helps us with our emotions and our memories. And this is what we want children to grow up knowing. We want them to know this from when they were quite small. So I'll teach you a little bit about Sammy. So this is Sammy the Seasquirt. Now, Sammy the Seasquirt lives under the sea. Now, to start our story, we're going to rub our hands together. We're going to open our hands like a storybook. And as you open your hands, we're going to take a deep breath. And we're going to let it out for longer. Now, under the waves, where sunlight is blue, Sammy the Seasquirt is born with a tube. Sea squirts have a brain on top of their tube that tells them to squirt, and that's how they move. Now, this is our brain. So put your thumbs inside your hands like this, tuck it round, and we're going to squirt like that sea squirt. So we're going to stretch all the way up, and then all the way back down. Now, as you squirt up, we're going to take a big breath in, and then we're going to squirt down. So I'll show you Sammy the Seasquirt. So here is Sammy. So Sammy the Seasquirt travels the sea, and Sammy's brain grows to be healthy and free. Let's see who they meet. Let's watch how they move. Let's see who they meet next. So Sammy the Seasquirt meets Caleb the Crab. And Caleb the Crab says, my brain, it can choose to slow down or rush. But if I don't move, my brain turns to mush. So a way that we can move like Caleb the Crab, we can move side to side. So there's lots of different ways that we can move side to side. We can do it on our feet, and we can move side to side slowly like this. We can go faster, or we could come all the way down. And you could move side to side with a little jump. Like Caleb the Crab going side to side. Now the next person that we meet is Opal the Octopus. Opal the Octopus says, my brain, it can choose to dream and to think. But if I don't move, my brain will just shrink. And the octopus wobbles and squirts the ink. So let's have a go. We're going to wobble our bodies together. So you can do this sitting down or standing up. We're going to wobble, wobble, wobble from side to side. And as you squirt ink, we're going to stretch as far as we can in one direction. And let's try again. Wobbly, 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 wobbly. Stretch as far as you can in the other direction. Let's try that again. Wobble, wobble, wobble. And stretch as you squirt your ink. And the other way. Wobble, 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 wobble. Stretch and squirt that ink. Now the next person that Sammy the Seasquirt meets is Zara the Zebrafish. Zara says, my brain is a map and helps me remember the places I've been to and those I've not yet. If I didn't move, I'd always forget. Now, as we're going to be like Zara the Zebrafish, we're going to stretch our fins behind. Now, you can do this standing up, and we're going to take our fins all the way behind and stretch behind us, or you can do it kneeling down. And if you do it kneeling down and take your fins all the way back, and we're going to lean a little way back as we do our fins backwards. And you can also stretch your fins wide. So as you take your fins out, we're going to stretch them wide and open our chest. And then as we bring it back round, we're going to wrap it back round each other. So stretch your fins wide as you take a big breath in and then bring them back round. And again, stretch them wide and then bring them back round. Very good. Now, Sammy the Seasquirt meets another friend, and this friend is Saul the Seahorse. Saul the Seahorse says, if I'm feeling sad, my tail gets tight, but then when I move, I'm happy and light. Now, to move like Sammy the Seahorse, Saul the Seahorse, we're going to make some nice shapes. And if you can see as well, Saul the Seahorse holds on tight to things with their tail. So you can grip with your fingers and stretch and grip and stretch. And we can also make some nice shapes with our bodies. We can do it with our finger in the air. And if we do both fingers together, we cross over our midline, which is really good to get all of our brain working really nicely. So let's do it with our fingers together and draw a big all the way down to the floor, and start again high in the air. Now, if you've got something like this at home that's nice and colourful, you can have a go with this and see if you can make a really big shape in the air as you go down. Now, Sammy the Seasquirt's brain is feeling good because they're moving. But when sea squirts don't move, they swallow their brain. Ugh, yuck. They absorb their brain back into their body because they no longer need to use it. So here's Sammy the Seasquirt's brain. Now we're going to try and see if we can absorb our brain back into our body by the movements that we make and the shapes that we make with our body. So thinking about our brain, make your brain nice and big and wide. We're going to take it really small, so slowly, slowly, smaller, 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 as small as you can make it, and tuck yourself all in like the brain being swallowed back into the body. Lovely. Now, Sammy the Seasquirt decides they don't want that to happen to them. They're not going to stay in one place. They're going to keep moving. And when they move, it helps their brain to feel good. It keeps that oxygen flowing around. It helps them with their emotions, with their memories, and it helps them to feel well. And at Suffolk Mind, this is what we always want. We'd like people to stay in well-being and to get back into well-being when they're feeling like they're not so much in well-being. So this is our way of seeing if we can teach children how to stay in well-being. So Sammy the Seasquirt says, I'll use my brain to travel the sea. The ocean's the home for sea squirts like me. And just to finish our movements, we're going to do some wave movements. So if we come down onto your knees, or if you're seated in a chair, that's okay as well. We can do it from side to side. So we're going to take our hands from one side. I'm going to stretch all the way up and take a deep breath in, and then bring them back down the other side. And let's do it the other way. Take a deep breath in, stretch them all the way up and back down the other side. And again, and back down the other side, and a big stretch up and back down. Now, there are lots of ways that you can do these movements by yourself, or you can make up some of your own, or you could do them with a friend. So the game that we've got that you can download from our crowdfunder is a memory game, so that you can play this with a friend. So you have to match the cards, and then on the back are lots of suggestions for ways to move together. There's also some other things that you can download as rewards from our website. One of them is our emotional needs and resources card that has been lovely illustrated by Sammy. So you can download that as a little reminder. And the other thing that we've got on there that we can do as well is an emotional needs audit. And this is the same emotional needs audit that we use at Suffolk Mind on our courses. And we use this to sort of have a bit of a gauge of how our emotional needs are. So you can do this by yourself, or you could do this for your family. So I've got children who are 6 and 8, and we talk about this quite a lot, and I can do it with them. So it's another thing that you can download, a little tool to help you. So if you'd like any more information about Sammy the Seasquirt, if you follow us on social media, we're on Facebook as Sammy the Seasquirt, and on Instagram and Twitter as Sammy Seasquirt. And if you have a little look, there's lots of things that we're doing. We've got some sponsorship packages for businesses, and we're organising a Sammy the Seasquirt Day on the 28th of May, which is the last day before half term, to get schools to get involved. So at the moment, we're hoping to get the funds to print this, to get it to every child for September. And the artwork's all nearly ready to go, so we're really excited about this. So yeah, if you've got any more questions, that would be great. So
Oh, thank you so much for that, Louise. That was really, really invigorating. We so enjoyed that here. And it's great to see Mind, working with young children, getting them into that place about positive mental health from such a young age.
Yeah, it's really important, especially after the past year, because a lot of parents are saying to us that they know that their children need something, but they don't know how to go about it. And this is something that families can do. Any family can do this. You don't need anything special to do it. You just need to move a little bit more and in different ways. So, and it automatically helps their mental health the minute they start moving a little bit more. So.
And where does your work take you, Louise? Do you go into schools? Do you work with preschool kids on this stuff?
Yeah, so I'm the children and young people's trainer. We go out into schools. We deliver our Early Minds programme and Sammy the Seasquirt materials as well. But our Early Minds programme goes from reception to year 6 in primary schools and teaches children all about their breath, about their emotional needs, and also about how to sort of feel calm when they feel those strong emotions. But we've also got some resources for secondary school children as well. But this is something that we've been doing for quite a while now, and sort of particularly over this year, we've been having quite a lot of contact with schools about how to support the children that are in need of some wellbeing support. So.
Great. Well, we've got another 10 seconds, so get that plug in again for the website that you mentioned there.
Yeah, so it's www.crowdfunder.co.uk/Sammy the Seasquirt, and there's lots of lovely things on there and a really nice animation to show you what Sammy's all about, and it's coming to life.
Brilliant. Nice to see you. Louise Harris from Suffolk Mind. Have a great afternoon.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.